Namaste. Welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua, and here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are welcoming the spring equinox, equal day, equal night on this first day of spring. So welcome to the practice. You'll want to have 2 blocks, a strap, a bolster, and a blanket. You might begin by sitting on your folded blanket or any of your props to allow your spine more ease in lifting upright, and to help relax the hips as you might be sitting cross-legged if you choose so. Take a moment to settle in physically and mentally. This might entail scanning your environment and just taking in through your senses what attracts your senses, what brings a sense of peacefulness and ease. I know this is a way to regulate our nervous systems, set aside anything that might be distracting, such as cell phones and things like that, to really commit this next hour and 5 minutes of your time to dive deeper into your practice. So as we celebrate the first day of spring today, I'd like to focus on the last of the 5 yamas. We've been going through the different practices within the first limb of the 8 limbs of yoga. And you might recall that yamas are ways that we can live in harmony with the world, or so-called right relationship with the world around us. They might be seen as moral restraints. I see them sort of like as ethical guidelines. So today's yama is called a parigraha. I've mentioned this in the past, and a parigraha is often translated as non-possessiveness, non-clinging. It's our ability to let life flow and remember that nothing around us in this material world is permanent. And so the Yoga Sutra, number 2.39, can be explained as, if we release our attachments, if we become steadfast and firm in greedlessness, if we stop grasping for things, stop trying to possess things, the nature and purpose of existence becomes clear. Here's a shorter translation by Summer Cushman. If we stop grasping for things, stop trying to possess things, we can understand the purpose of our birth. You might recall that in the second sutra, it defines yoga as the calming of the fluctuations of the mind. It's when all these mood swings, emotional changes, thoughts passing by, when they come to a stillness and we remember who we really are beyond these fluctuations. It's a return to our true nature. And so yoga allows our being to settle into itself, into pure awareness, pure existence. This consciousness, this unbounded consciousness, is utterly different from the ever-changing nature of our habituated mind and our conditioned personality. There's another Yoga Sutra that I mentioned recently, and it says that our essential nature is usually overshadowed by the activity of the mind. I'll say that again. Our essential nature is usually overshadowed by the activity of the mind. We can easily misidentify ourselves with the ever-changing nature of our moods, our desires, and our ideas. And through experience, habit, and conditioning, we build our personality. We decide what we like and what we don't like. And as humans, and speaking for myself as well, as humans, we can often dedicate most of our life's energy to acquiring what we think we want and need, to acquiring anything and everything that will help us feel safe, worthy, and important, from material things to titles to whatever it is, contacts and networks, whatever it is. So how can we settle into our essential nature, who we really are, into pure being. If our minds are constantly running after things because of thoughts of lack or I need this, I need that. There's another yoga writer, her name is Donna Farhi. She writes a lot of yoga books, and she wrote, holding on to things and being free are two mutually exclusive states. She explains the ordinary mind is constantly manipulating reality to get ground underneath it, building more and more concretized images of how things are and how others are as a way of generating confidence and security. We like to label things to make sure we know, it gives us a sense of control. We build self-images and construct concepts and paradigms that feed our sense of certainty. And we then defend this edifice by bending every situation to reinforce our certainty. It's interesting how our minds work, right? How the ego tries to protect its ideas of what's black or white. So spiritual teachers from so many diverse traditions, from Christianity to Hinduism and to such a variety of traditions, tell us that as we are able to release our sense of possessiveness, as we are able to let go, to accept the reality of change that is life, our hearts can open to the true nature of things. And of course, we can't forget that a parigraha is a yama. And remember, yamas are moral restraints, which means we have to investigate how our constant need for acquisition, for possession, for having things, holding on to them, keeps us from living in right relationship with the world. So here are some reflections that you might chew on as we narrow down our intentions on this first day of spring. What attachments do you have? What do you cling to? Whether they give you comfort or they give you a sense of familiarity or certainty or grounding, what are your attachments? And this requires satya, right? That self-honesty. And as we evolve into this new season of spring, which is so much about abundance being demonstrated as everything's blooming and flourishing in nature around us, what will you choose to let go of so that you can experience more freedom to truly be your essential nature, that pure awareness within? What are you choosing to plant the seed of letting go so that you can experience more freedom? Let's take a moment to check in with ourselves, beginning to scan mentally your physical body and noting, without judging, good or bad, any sensations. Start with what calls your attention first in your body right now. What is your overall physical state as you begin your yoga practice? Notice if you can feel your breathing. No need to control the breath or change it. What qualities do you feel about the breath? Tuning into how you're feeling energetically right now. And then what is your state of mind and heart at this moment? Are there any kinds of emotions you're experiencing right now? What is the quality of your focus and presence? Meeting ourselves where we are in these different layers of our being. Take a moment to offer gratitude for any ways that you can acknowledge that you are experiencing abundance in your life, that you are already experiencing well-being. What has the winter season brought to you in nourishment, in support? And then setting your intention for this practice, maybe setting your theme for this spring season. Is there any aspect in your life in which you would like to practice non-attachment, non-clinging, aparigraha, to experience more freedom, to truly be your authentic self? And thinking of those around us, how might our practice serve those around us? You might think of someone or something that you would like to dedicate today's practice to. And with that, let's join our voices, sharing resonance by chanting Om, the sacred sound, 3 times. Breathing in, inviting your rib cage to gently expand in 4 directions. Breathing out, letting the belly soften as the muscles between the ribs relax. And start to invite deeper breaths in, equal length breaths out, closing the lips if you can, just breathe through the nose. And I invite you into a breathing technique or pranayama that helps to cleanse the lungs, enliven energy, while bringing clarity of mind. And it's called bellows breath, Bhastrika pranayama. There's a physical action that you might choose to add while you're practicing bellows breath, and it helps to energize and warm up the shoulders a bit. It's where you bend your elbows apart at the height of your shoulders, relax, sitting tall, and have fists with your hands. As you breathe in, straighten the arms up, spread the fingers wide, and as you breathe out, bend the elbows and refist the hands. So the breath is really full. Inhale, you're using your diaphragm. Imagine breathing into your entire torso and exhaling it all out equally like this. So finding a brisk pace that you can sustain for 1 minute, do the best you can. I'm gonna watch the clock for 1 minute of bellows breath. Ready? Begin. We're halfway through. And relax. And breathing naturally, notice the effects of that pranayama. How does your energy feel? How does your mind feel? As we continue breathing just through the nose, let's start to practice another breathing technique that helps to invite balance of energy. We know the inhales are naturally energizing and the exhales naturally calming. So we're lengthening both equally, lips closed, and then creating a gentle whispering sound by softly constricting or narrowing the back of the throat. Now, as you listen to the sound of this breath, which is called Ujjayi Pranayama, it means victorious breathing. Try to cultivate the qualities in your breathing, such as smoothness, balance, steadiness, inviting mental focus, and calmness. So as you keep that breath rhythm going, gently audible, you can listen to it as a means of centering yourself in the present. If the mind gets distracted and wanders somewhere else, just like we do in sitting meditation, you bring your attention back to regulating the breath. So keep that going, and let's make our way down onto hands and knees. We'll start to warm up the spine and shoulders in Betalasana, which means cat-cow pose. Spreading your fingers wide and flat, stack the shoulders over your wrists, step your knees a couple of inches behind your hips, and take a slow inhale while you glide your chest forward and coil it up, rolling the shoulders back and down. Use the full exhalation to contract your abdomen, drop your head, and round the back. Keep going, inhaling into cow pose, gazing up. Exhaling into cat pose, looking down. Take it for maybe 5 or so more cycles of breath, really listening to the breath and fine-tuning how you are synchronizing your body moving to the breath. Before we hold still and deeply stretching yin postures or very surrendering restorative postures, we're going to warm up our body just a little more with some gentle movements. So spread your thumbs wide towards each other flat. Stretch the index fingers forward, keep the hands still, and at the bottom of the next exhalation, tuck your toes and lift your hips as high as you can towards the back wall, entering downward facing dog. Begin to pedal your feet gently in place. Maybe one in breath, one out breath per heel pressing the ground. You could even add to this movement, swiveling your hips to the left and to the right, looking underneath one armpit and then the other, gently shaking the head no, then gently nodding the head yes. As your hands root into the earth, lift your shoulders back, create space in your neck. Really try to relax the mouth. You might flutter your lips a few times to relax the jaw. You might stretch the mouth in different shapes. As you lift the shoulders and drop the head, roll your outer upper arms towards the floor, spreading the shoulder blades apart, lifting them back, and then bend your knees and see if you can lift your sitting bones even higher. Keep them that high. Now pull your hips further back. You're really trying to stretch the back. And then root your heels downward, whether or not they touch the floor, whether or not you fully straighten the legs. Find your balance. Press the chest towards the shins, from the belly towards the back, and land your eyes on one focal point as you tune into 3 more breaths. We're warming up the shoulders here. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come forward into the top of a push-up, plank pose, shoulders right over the wrists, look ahead of the thumbs, lengthen the neck. Exhale, lower your knees, then the chest, hug the elbows to the ribs, then the chin. Inhale, slither forward, and gently coil the chest into a light cobra pose. Make sure you're firming down the tops of your feet to support your lower back. Exhale, press back into child's pose just for 3 breaths. Feet together touching, hips pulling back and down to the heels, forehead resting all the way down as the shoulders move back, arms extended forward. So it's an active child's pose. One more deep breath in Balasana. Separate the feet hips distance, tuck your toes, lift the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg behind you. And as you exhale, bend the knee and turn out your right thigh at the hip. Inhaling, draw the left hip further back. Exhale, step your right foot as lightly as you can beside your right thumb and lower your left knee. Come up to your fingertips. You could also prop your hands in blocks if that makes it easier for the shoulders to relax. Take a deep breath. Let your hips sink as you look up. Keep your feet where they are and exhale to pyramid pose. Lift the back knee. Draw the right hip back towards, straightening the legs as you bow like you have a flat back. Inhale, lower the left knee again to a kneeling lunge. Look up. Exhale, lift the left knee. Folding over to pyramid pose. 3 more. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Come down to a kneeling lunge. Plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Pause for full breath. Let your head hang loose. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. As you exhale, bend the knee and rotate the thigh externally at the hip. Breathe in and tack the right outer hip back. Exhale softly as you can. Step the left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee, tuck the back toes, fingertips framing the front ankle on the ground or on blocks. Breathe in here, look up. Keep your feet where they are. Exhale, lift the right knee. Draw your left outer hip back towards, straightening the legs, bowing as if you have a flat back, pyramid pose. Inhale, lower the right knee, look up. Exhale, lift the right knee and fold. Let's keep going for 3 more cycles. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. This time, inhale to a high lunge, look forward. Exhale, step the right foot hips distance from the left and fold. Parallel the feet. Press your hands on your shins, blocks, or the ground. And inhale, stretch your spine forward about parallel to the floor. Exhale, keep shifting forward and bow from the hips. Drop the head. Press to the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, rising all the way up. Join your palms and exhale, bring them together in prayer at your heart center. What is your intention on this first day of spring or on this yoga practice today? Moving with that, let's offer gratitude to the sun supporting us in abundance of energy. Inhale the arms forward, roll your shoulders back and down, look up. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Press your fingertips down. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward and glide your shoulders back. Exhale, fold in. Root down to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms, rising all the way to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, marry your palms to meet your heart center. Twice more, half sun salutations. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, tilt your heart towards the sun. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Press the fingertips down. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, Uttanasana. Rooting down. Inhale, rise, follow the breath to the top, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join the palms in  Once more, listen to your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Pausing here. And just tuning in for a moment. Sensing your body. Sensing your energy. Inhale the arms overhead. Take hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Plug the shoulders down and begin to side bend to your right for a few breaths. Making the left foot feel heavier here as you seal in your bottom front ribs. Imagine breathing deeper into your left lung. Inhale, rise up. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Plug the shoulders down and exhale. Begin side bending to left. Press your right foot deeper into the earth and seal in your front ribs. Breathing a little more into the right side of the rib cage. Inhale to rise up. Bring the hands behind you to clasp or hold a strap between the hands. If possible, if you're clasping, hug the heels of your palms together. Draw the shoulders down. Inhale, look up. Bend the knees as much as needed. Exhale, shift your weight as far forward as you can balance. Stretching the spine as you drop the head. Reach the hands away from the lower back. How's your breathing? As you bend your elbows slightly, lift your shoulder bones away from your neck and let your head hang completely freely. Can you embody that feeling of aparigraha, that freedom that comes from letting go of any tension in your jaw, letting go of any tension in your neck or the rest of the spine, which might entail bending the knees generously so you feel that support. Couple deep breaths more. Lower your hands and please step back to downward facing dog. Set your knees on the floor to come onto all fours and then shift forward, lowering all the way down to your belly. Slide your forearms forward, entering Sphinx pose. Place your elbows directly beneath your shoulders and draw your shoulder heads back and down. Then slide your knees as close together as you can, now entering a yin posture to open up the fronts of your shoulders and the fronts of your thighs and hips. Cross your left forearm in front of your chest. Bend your right knee. Backstroke your right arm to open the front of the shoulder, making sure to hold the big toe side, not the pinky toe side, of your right ankle or foot. Have your knees no wider apart than your hips distance to protect your lower back. Ground both of your frontal hip bones and turn your chest completely to face the front of your mat. Deep breaths. Bring your right heel gently and slightly towards the outer side of your right hip while relaxing your shoulders down. If your right shoulder feels pretty open and loose, you could spin the right palm, which remains face down, so that the right fingertips are now pointing towards the front edge of your mat. Feel into the muscles in your face as the way we clench mentally, the way we contract when we don't like something or when we're trying to hold on to something and don't want to let go, shows up in our physical bodies. And it's interesting how chronic tension can simply be a manifestation of that mental constriction. And so as we become more aware of where we tend to tense a lot in our bodies, you might ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What can I let go of to experience more freedom, mentally and physically. One more deep breath. And then release the right leg. Come back to Sphinx pose, both elbows on the floor, forearms parallel to each other. And then take a moment here to, again, roll the shoulder bones back, press the shoulder blades down the back, and broaden your collarbones as you look down towards the space between your thumbs. Slide your knees closer together if they've slid apart. Connect to your breathing. Find the full length of the inhalation matched with the emptying of the breath. Stay aware of that as you cross the right forearm in front of your chest. Bend your left knee, backstroke your left arm, and catch hold of the big toe side of your left ankle or foot. Have your knees no wider apart than your hips distance. Ground both of your frontal hip bones and turn your chest completely to face the front of your mat. Draw the shoulders down. And start to bring the left heel gently and slightly towards the outer side of the left hip. Not too far out, just right beside it. Do you notice any difference on this side? Whether in the shoulders or the legs or the hips or the mind. If you're finding the left shoulders pretty loose and open here, you could explore spinning the left palm at the wrist so that the fingertips point at the front of the mat. One more deep breath. And with an exhale, let the left leg go. Come back to Sphinx pose once more. Draw the shoulders back, broaden the chest. Actively stretch your tailbone long towards the space between your knees. As you point your toes back, actively lengthen your legs back. Let's take 3 rounds of releasing, clearing, cooling lion's breaths, Simasana Pranayama. So empty this breath. Inhale deeply through the nose. Stick out your tongue, open your eyes and mouth wide. Let any sound release as you exhale. Take it at your own pace. Twice more. Let it feel like an energetic unpacking. From here, come all the way down to place your right ear on the ground. Slide your right arm wide to your right side, resting the palm face down in line with your right shoulder. Place the left hand on the floor beside your left shoulder and begin to press the floor away with it, slowly rolling over towards your right outer hip, but taking your time to really listen to your body, letting you know how far to lean back. Draw the right shoulder blade further down your back to lengthen the right side of your neck. If it's more comfortable to place the right side of your head on a block or a folded blanket, you can do that as a pillow. If you're finding the inner right shoulder feels pretty open here, you could explore going further and stepping the left foot on the ground behind you. You could explore how it feels to wrap the left arm behind you. You could also even explore bending the right knee too and stepping the right foot on the floor flat. Listening to the breath as you regulate your energy by regulating your breath. Letting the sound of your breathing center your mind. One more deep breath here. Take your time rolling back onto your belly. No rush to get anywhere. Being present with each step of the way back. As you arrive on your belly, lean the left ear to the floor or on a block. Slide your left arm wide to the left side with the palm face down in line with your left shoulder. With your right hand on the floor beside your right shoulder, press the ground away and begin to slowly roll towards your left side. Letting go of any expectations, which are ways that we can cling to familiarity, like this is how far I want on the other side, this is how far I must go on this side. But instead, just noticing that our bodies are constantly changing with our moods, our thoughts and experiences. What's different here, if anything? Slide the left shoulder blade down your back ribs, lengthening the left side of your neck. On this side, are you needing to step the right foot behind you? Maybe not. Are you needing to wrap the right arm behind you? Maybe not. Are you needing to step the left foot on the ground as well? Sensing how you're cultivating certain qualities of the breath and thus affecting your experience here. One more deep breath. Take your time rolling down onto your belly again. Place your hands alongside your floating ribs and gently press up to your hands and knees, rising up to sit. Let's set up for a restorative spinal twist. Placing your long pillow or rolled up blanket to trace the midline of your mat, starting at the very top of the mat. Now, for more support, and you can start with more support and shed away any support you don't need when you get into the pose, you could place 2 blocks on their lowest height, crossing your mat right underneath the furthest part of the pillow, the part that's by the front edge of the mat. And nearby, you can grab your blanket and folding the blanket thick enough so that you can use it as support for your forehead so that you can lie face down like you're getting a massage. Now, place your right outer hip flush against the back edge of the pillow and straighten both of your legs towards your left wall. Leave your right leg where it is and slide your left leg down the midline of your mat towards the rear edge of the mat, creating a capital L shape in the legs. Now leave the legs there and place your hands along the left and right sides of the pillow. Adjust your pelvis and legs so that you can comfortably turn your chest completely to face the front edge of your mat. Now this might mean swiveling the right hip towards the back of the mat a little, but still touching the back of the pillow. This might mean bending the knees. Make sure you're relaxing the legs as much as possible. Lifting your chest, breathe in. Now slowly begin to lower your torso onto the support of your props. Now, if you're finding that your torso does not meet the pillow easily, grab another pillow or grab some extra blankets. Stack it as thick as you need so that you can completely surrender your body to gravity and not be holding yourself up like this. Right? You want to be able to completely relax in this posture. There might be some discomfort as you're opening up things that might feel tight, but we're not looking for pain. We're not looking to force our body into anything. So use as much support with your props as you can creatively configure them. And then make any last little adjustment. Now, some of you might find you've put up too many props and you want to go a little further. You can shed one thing at a time and see what works for you. And if you have space here in your torso to add a spinal twist, there is an option to thread the needle for your upper body, placing the right hand towards the upper right corner of your mat and threading the left arm underneath your right bent elbow, lowering the left side of your head down onto the ground or a block as you twist across your waistline. All right, I'm going to watch the clock here for another 2 minutes. Check in with your breathing. I understand that when we're in a deep twist, it might feel a little more difficult to breathe deeply. Do the best that you can to relax into full breaths. Know that spinal twists like these, as we go deeper into them, help to stimulate digestive flow, which is literally the process of letting go of what no longer serves you. It also helps to shed tension along the spine, especially the lower back. Tune into one more deep breath here. Take your time transitioning out. No abrupt movements. Placing your hands on the floor. Slowly begin to lift your skull. Lift the rest of your torso. Leave the props as they are and eventually turn around to face the back of your mat, sitting in stick pose, Dandasana, where you straighten both legs in front of you. Pause for a few breaths, just letting the spine release from that twist and observing what are you feeling in your body, especially along the spine or the area of your digestive organs. Inhale fully into your abdomen, expanding your belly gently. Exhale through the nose slowly and soften the belly inward towards the spine. One more deep belly breath in. Feel the slow release of that. Keep it going, the deep, even breaths, and slide your left leg to your left, creating an L shape out of the legs where the right leg continues to point at the back of the mat. So if you still have a pillow tracing the midline of the mat, the left outer hip is flush against that pillow. Frame the left and right sides of your pillow with your hands and turn your chest completely to face the front edge of your mat. Adjusting your pelvis and legs as needed so that you can comfortably do this. Breathe in as you lift your chest. And then begin to bow into the props, letting them catch you, adjusting them as you need. If you want to enter the spinal twist, thread the needle on this side, place the left hand towards the upper left corner of your mat, thread the right arm underneath your left bent elbow, and lower the right side of your head down onto a block or the ground. Make any last little adjustments so that you can truly practice surrendering, that feeling of freedom that comes from a parigraha. Two minutes. One more deep breath. And then again, take your time. Be gradual in your transition of rising up to sit. Let's meet again, sitting tall in stick pose, stretching the legs in front of you, allowing for a couple deep breaths into the belly. Grab a block or two, and as you're sitting in stick pose with your feet slightly wider than hips distance apart, take a block or two stacked and place it between your knees and calves to catch your forehead. Ground your sitting bones. If it's more helpful to sit tall with a pillow or a folded blanket under your pelvis, feel free to do that. Flex your feet and press your big toe mounds forward, causing the inner sides of your thighs to spiral towards the ground slightly. This broadens the lower back. Then firm your outer hips towards your spine, creating traction as you breathe in and lift the lower spine from the hips. Relax the shoulders and then begin to crawl the hands forward just a little bit as you breathe out. Pause here. Check in that you're still relaxing the shoulders slightly back. You're not rounding them forward. You're opening the chest. You're slightly lifting the sternum, and the throat is open. And then at the point at which you can maintain that and find your range, adjust the height of the blocks to rest your forehead on. And then relax the torso, relax the arms, and we'll be here for 2 minutes in the supported version of Paschimottanasana. Try not to turn out the legs here. Continue the flexing of your feet and pressing the insteps of your feet forward, spiraling the inner thighs slightly towards the floor. How is your breathing at this point? One more deep breath. And press down to your pelvis. Lead with your chest and breathe in to slowly rise up. Notice how you feel. Please find a comfortable way to sit for one more pranayama to help us relax more deeply, tune inward, and ground for Shavasana and later our 5 minutes of meditation. Sitting up tall, relaxing the whole body, like the shoulders especially. I invite you into an energy balancing, neural integrating, which means it balances the left and right hemispheres of the brain, alternate nostril breathing, Nodi Shodhana Pranayama. So notice how your energy is feeling right now. If you're wanting to balance it off with uplifting energy, you can bring the left hand in Gyan Mudra, where the thumb and index finger touch and the palm rests face up on your lap. Or maybe you're already feeling still quite energetic, and to balance yourself off, you're calling in more grounding energy. You can turn the same shape of the palm face down. With the right hand, stick out your thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. As you close your lips, we'll use the right thumb to close your right nostril like this. We'll use the right ring and pinky to close the left nostril like this. Alternate nostril breathing. As we practice, you might close the eyes. Focus on no longer creating a sound in the breath. We're not practicing the whispering sound here. Instead, a more soft, gentler, and sustained, subtle breathing, because we're inviting more of that yin quality inward. All right, let's prepare to begin 3 cycles together and continue 3 cycles on your own. First, inhale deeply through the nose. Open the mouth to clear it out. Close the mouth. Let's begin. Cover the right nostril with a thumb. Inhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close left for 6. Exhale right, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Second cycle. Inhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left. 6. Hold 2. Close left. Exhale right. 6. Hold 2. Inhale right. 6. Hold 2. Close right. Exhale left. 6. Hold 2. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. When you finish, breathe naturally. Observe how you feel. When you feel ready, gently lower your body to the ground and find a comfortable way to lie down for a few minutes, being still, present, and relaxed in Shavasana. Take the time to position your body so that you can comfortably be still, closing the eyes and breathing naturally. As you rest a little longer, keeping your eyes closed, what do you notice about your body? How does it feel now? Let it lead you into gentle movements, slowly waking up your body. And notice what wants to move next or ease into a simple stretch. Gradually turning over onto your right side and resting your head for a few moments. And as you pause, notice the quality of your natural breathing. What's it saying about your energy now? Does your energy feel any different? Then take the time to press into the earth and gently lift your body up, finding another comfortable way to sit where you can feel grounded, alert, and relaxed for 5 minutes in meditation. Choose a mudra, Gyan mudra, or palms face down, or another neutral mudra is a stacked right palm on top of left, palms face up, thumb tips gently touching. Maybe close the eyes. To help focus your mind, very, very gently relax your attention on the natural feeling of the breath coming in and the breath coming out. Inviting your physical body to relax deeper and deeper. If your attention goes astray, don't be forceful about bringing your attention back right away. First, notice where your attention went. Notice how it feels to have gone there. Maybe you feel a contraction or a furrowed eyebrow. And then maybe take a deep breath to relax back into resting your attention very gently on the feeling of the breath as you breathe naturally again. over time, as you find your attention rests more and more easily on the breath without going astray, you might find a deeper layer to this presence where it becomes less and less effort to rest on the breath. And then you can allow your awareness to open up. Notice how you're feeling now in your mind and heart. As we practice letting go of contraction or tension in the physical body and in the breath, how do you feel? This is one of the ways we can familiarize ourselves with a practice of aparigraha, letting go, consciously releasing what we do not need to cling on to. As you enter the rest of your day and week ahead, what are some opportunities in which you can consciously practice non-clinging, remembering that abundance and well-being naturally flows to you as we're not forcing? Remember what your intention is today on this first day of spring. Remember to whom or what you've dedicated today's practice. And together, let's close chanting Om 3 times. Bowing in, acknowledging pure awareness within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.